I have a special devotion to St. Paul of the Cross, whose feast day it is today, because in the traditional calendar, his feast day actually was on my birthday. And so when I found that, I was like, ooh, connection. And so I wanted to find out a little bit more about St. Paul of the Cross. And I remember, as I learned more about him, I saw how much he worked to die to himself and to live for Christ. He grew up with his mother reading to him the lives of the Desert Fathers, which, if you know anything about the Desert Fathers and Mothers, they're very, very strict and fasting to the point of having like maybe a meal once a week type of thing. I mean, it was very extreme. And so he took on a lot of those penances, a lot of those mortifications for himself. And there was a point in my life when I was looking at all these things, and I started doing some strong fasting and other things. And one of my friends, thanks be to God for good people who know us and are able to slap us around a little bit, said to me, "You shouldn't be doing this, Father Vaughn." And I said, "Why not? You know, I mean, St. Paul of the Cross did it." And she says, "Yeah, but you're not doing it right. You're doing it because you hate yourself. You're trying to punish yourself. You're not doing it because you love God." And that's the thing. So often we take on penances or the like because I want to punish myself, instead of seeing that the cross, loving the cross like St. Paul of the Cross and so many of the other saints, is not about loving the cross as such, as a way of getting back at us, but it's a way of loving the one who is on the cross. That we see that by our mortifications, by our taking up our crosses, it's what allows us to come into close union with Christ. And as I was pondering over this morning, I was thinking, why is that? Why is that taking on proper sacrifice and mortification and the like draws us closer to Christ if it's done for the right reasons? And I think it's because the cross is the only thing that really allows us to die to our own will. And it's only when we die to our will that we're able to live for Christ. It's only when we say no to ourselves that we can truly say a yes to Jesus. The purpose is not to say no to ourselves, but to say yes to Jesus. The purpose is not to say, okay, I'm going to punish myself, I'm going to see if I can really get through all this fasting and whatever else it may be, but rather to empty ourselves enough to be filled with Jesus. And so as we go throughout our days, we don't necessarily have to take on extreme mortifications. But it does mean looking at the normal, everyday sufferings we have, and instead of complaining against them or railing against them, embracing them for love of Jesus. Saying, okay, this is gift that I can give back to Jesus. This small way of saying no to myself that I can give back to Jesus. And sometimes, yes, we do have to say no to choose sacrifices, choose mortification, saying no to ourselves in specific ways. But then again, we have to do that in so many other things, don't we? If we want to be healthy, it means we have to say no to our leisure time and yes to some sort of exercise. It means saying no to the cookies and saying yes to the fruit. It means saying no to the things that might make us happy in a moment, so that we could have something happy in the long run. And Jesus says this is how we do this in the spiritual life as well. Because our willfulness, our pride, is the one thing that stands between us and union with Christ. And the cross, embracing the cross, allowing the cross to break us of our pride, of our self-will, of our selfishness. It's only in the cross then that we can then have that yes, that union with Christ. So today, through the intercession of St. Paul of the Cross, and of all the holy angels and saints, may we have the courage not just to take up our cross, but to embrace it, and to see in it not a love for the cross as such, but a love for the one who hangs on the cross. That we embrace it so that we can become close to Jesus, who loves us so tenderly, so intimately, so passionately.